Hi everybody, David Lockwood here from the PassivePeeps.com, and we're going to talk a little bit about Forex trading. We've opened up a new website, and instead of WordPress we switched it over to Joomla. So it gives us a lot more options, and we decided, okay, it's about time that we go ahead and we offer a little bit of a Forex course here. I've been a trader for over 25 years, and most of the members know that already, and they've all often said, David, can you please give us a course? Can you please show us a little bit of Forex? It will be another revenue income stream for us. And I said, okay, well, I felt it was about time, so here we go, because we have the new website. All right, so let's take a look at what a chart is. Okay, now this is from a broker called Tolinex. It's a MetaTrader 4 platform, and I am an introducing broker there only because of the number of passive peeps that were so excited about coming into the Forex. So I wanted to make sure that they weren't going to overextend themselves. So by watching what they're doing and knowing that if they choose to trade, that I can keep an eye on them. So we've had a number of our passive peeps open up accounts with Tolinex, and we're just getting ready to start to present everything, start a trade copier, etc. And while they're learning, they can also benefit, because if I trade something and they have a what they call a slave to the copier, the main copier, then whatever I trade on a chart, they will automatically get the same trade. When I close it, they will automatically get the trade closed for themselves. Okay, so this is what you do when you've gone to File up here. You don't see that part. And then I click on New Chart, and then I can have a drop down. You can see there's all kinds of pairs there. So I have picked here the USD Canadian dollar chart, and you'll see here that it opened up on a 1 hour chart. You can see that right in here. Okay, now the first thing I always like to do is that I don't like this grid business, and it looks like, there's not too much to identify with. So I have a template that I made up, plus a little simple system that I'm giving out here. Now this isn't the system that I'm going to be teaching into the Forex room of the PassivePeep.com site, but it's just an additional simple system that you can trade on any time frame, and it just basically, I think, is really simple. It might take you a bit to learn, but not much if you're a beginner. If you're used to trading, or you know what the terms and the symbols are, you should have no trouble whatsoever. But even what they call newbies, you should have no trouble after watching this video. So I'm going to bring the template up, the one that I put into the site there, that you're able to attach to your platform. And you don't even have to load indicators, because as long as you have those indicators into your custom indicator part of your navigator, then it will automatically come up. So right here, this last square, which is beside the clock, you're just going to use the drop down. You can see I have a ton of templates that I made, and we're looking for this one right here. And I'm going to click it, and presto, you've got a chart up here. Let's just bring it to the end of trading. Today is Sunday, so we're going to open up trading again about 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So it's kind of frozen right now until they open up, but this will give us a chance to go through everything about what it is that we're doing. So most of the indicators that you get are in what's called the navigator. And you can see all down here, these are custom indicators. All right, so that's where they came from. Now, there's an indicator I have, and let me just bring that back up here. And it is called 10-20 EMA cross arrow alerts. Okay, so that is what this whole thing with the yellow and the magenta arrows are. That's what that's all about. Now, I have 3 moving average lines here. I have the blue one is actually a 5 moving average. The magenta one is a 12 moving average, and the yellow one is a 26 moving average. And you can see as trading goes on, they cross each other. They cross down, they cross up, etc. Then down here, this is a MACD. This here is a stock histogram, and we have another MACD right here. Okay, this MACD of 515.1, it confirms signals, okay, of crosses. Okay, not every cross is going to end up at the same spot as here, but it is a confirming signal to tell you that yes, it's good to get into a trade. And I'll show you more about that later. But basically the system goes aqua crossing over yellow, buy. Okay, aqua crossing over magenta, a sell. Okay, and a lot of people are going to say, well, David, then how do we know when to get out and that? Well, we'll get into that in a sec. But right now, to know whether or not we're going to take this trade when it goes over here, we're going to look down here. And you can see right there that we have a zero line cross. If you look down here to the stock histogram, we also have a zero line cross here. This here right now on the MACD, I'll get to this indicator in just a minute, but if you have these two confirming indicators in the same spot, there you go, you can see it. I draw my crosshairs right there, and you can see it's about a bar after the cross because these moving averages are lagging indicators, which mean that these indicators, they're 1 bar behind. So since this is a H1, which is a 1 hour chart, that even though we have a cross right here on this bar, actually it's only going to be showing if we were in live time that the line would be on the bar previous to that. Only when the next bar happens does this show itself coming down here, and then you can see that this bar will be moving down, and this is confirming here, which means you take a sell trade. Now, vice versa to that would be here we have the blue line on an uptrend. It crosses over the yellow moving average. Again, this where it crosses, it's back on this bar here, and it's only when it gets up to here, well, as you can see, after it's made that bar, do we get the signal here. And there is your confirming. Again, not quite lined up, but pretty close there in here. Okay, so you could take that one, and this is showing too it's on the rise, the MACD 12.26.9 down here. Okay, now also too, as you're playing this, as long as this signal line down here in the bottom MACD is above the zero line, then you're only going to take buys. If it's below the zero line, you're only going to take sells. And another good example of that, if I want to scroll back here a little bit, you can see it's very trendy here. Let me just change this to the 4 hour chart. Okay, and you can see it's different, it looks different. And that's only because each of these bars now is 4 hours. Okay, so each one of these, there's 4, there's 8 hours, there's 12, there's 16, 20 hours, 24. Okay, so it's 6 bars equals 1 day on that. Now this works on any time frame. If I click down to the 5 minute, there you go. That's a 5 minute, meaning every one of these bars is 5 minutes. And you can see here's the aqua crossing the magenta, and we go down from about here to this point. That's 6 pips. Now the lower the time frame, it looks like a big move, but it's only around 6 pips. If I take this move and up to here, we're looking at 12 pips. Okay, and this is confirmed here. Again, like I said, there's the 2 zero line crosses at that point, and we have our signal there, and we're just going to buy on that following bar there and pull it up to there. It's about 12.5 pips. Now, if I get you back up to the 4 hour chart here, okay, and here we have the blue crossing magenta, and let's just take it roughly from this point here. Okay, and we carry this down to this first point. That's 186 pips. Now that looks about the same as what that 12.5 pip return was to you there, but because it's each bar is 4 hours long, then that's basically now 183 pips. Now, because the signal line is underneath the zero, then we're only taking sells. So we're not going to take any buys. So even though if we take our trade there and we come to this point and it comes back up like this, right, we still don't have a buy. Even though that the blue or the aqua was just starting to touch the yellow, you could get kind of antsy and say, oh, Jesus, maybe I should get out, maybe I should reverse. But then we get another crossover here, and there's your magenta arrow, and it comes back and it hits the yellow line again. It comes back, it almost hits the yellow line, then it continues to further drop. So that total trade down to the very bottom there, which you're not going to get every top and bottom, like completely, is 308 pips. Well, for 10 cents, that's $30.80. For a dollar, it's $308. For a standard lot, it's $3,080. Okay, so that's how that works. And you can see, it's fairly simple to follow. You know, aqua over yellow. Okay, we're looking for confirming. And right there, there's two confirming for a drop right there. Now, see, even though on an H4, if you take it from that point to there, it's 73 pips still. Now, I've introduced you to an autoscaler. That autoscaler is going to place 7 trades within that 40 pip move, and you're going to make about 160 pips. Just that because it takes multiple trades, and then as it's cashing in from that point down to that point, you're going to be locking out pips. You're going to be banking them, okay? And if you bank all of them, and by the time it gets down here, then you've made a lot of pips. Same with here. This one would be even better, okay? But depending on your time frame, and that's going to decide how much you're going to play. Because if you get caught into a trade like that, and it's only 5 pips, before you know it, it's turned on you and you get whipsawed. That's why an H4 time frame or a 4-hour chart, even in 1 hour, is better than playing a smaller time frame if you want to be successful in this. Okay, so here's a screenshot that I took, and just to give you some direction. And if you have this up on your screen and you study it, and even as you're playing on a demo live, you can refer to this. And the first things that you need to know is that I've set it all up, and if you just click on your template, this is the picture you'll get minus all the text that I have, and you won't have the blue rectangles and the pink and all the writing. But you'll have basically the 3 moving averages, you'll have the arrows, you'll have these 3 indicators down here, and it's so self-explanatory here. You're going to wait for either the aqua to cross up over the yellow line, and with confirmation here of 0 line crosses on both these 2 indicators here, then you're going to take your trade. And because the signal line here on the MACD is above the 0 line, you're only going to take buy trades. So even though that you have this magenta arrow right here, you're not going to take that trade. You're going to still hold, okay? You're holding because you don't have any confirmation. There's only the start or a threat of a 0 line cross there, nothing close to 0 line here. And this signal line is above the 0. So you're going to hold your trade. It keeps going up, moving, moving, moving. And you can see here, same thing. There is your threat of a 0 line cross. There's nothing close here. So you're going to hold on to it. It goes back up to here. It's a little more pips, not much, but it's enough for a 450 pip move right there. Okay, and then at that point, you're probably going to be out, because if you took an auto scaler, you're going to get out if you just decided that my target for the day or for a trade is going to be if it's on an H4 chart, I'm looking for 100 pips, then you would have been out way before the 450 pip total, and that's all right. You can always get back in if you want, or you can just sit out and wait for the next bus, and that comes right here. Because there's the aqua crossing the magenta, you've got confirmation here of 0 line crosses, and you're good for another 240 pip move down to here. And again, if you just wanted 100 pips and that was your target, about halfway through you would have achieved your 100 pips. So between this move and that, you'd have 200 pips, which isn't bad. At $1 a pip, it's $200. At a standard lot, it's $2,000. And that's only on one chart. If you're playing this, let's say 200, you got yourself 200 pips and you had 10 charts, well, there's 2,000 pips, which is $2,000 at $1 a piece. So again, you don't need to have, you don't need to make a lot. You don't need to get from the bottom of the trade right to the very top. The auto scaler will help you that way. But again, we're going to talk about in our webinars just about targets and about discipline and what your needs are, not what your greeds are. Greed is going to kill you. Okay? It's going to just make you so emotional. You'll be making rash decisions, and we don't want that. So anyway, that's a little tidbit of what's going on at www.passivepeeps.com. I hope that everybody sees this as a simple method. We have the Pip Bonanza that we're going to teach everybody. That's another simple method, very productive also. And there's lots more coming, so make sure you sign up to get into the Forex room. And there'll be some webinars with live trading on the US session and live trading on the Asian session. Okay, I'm David Lockwood, the CEO founder of the PassivePeeps.com, and it's my pleasure to bring you this and hope to see you all there. Thank you.